When we enter in the spirituality, personal development, we connect with the perfect qualities, the ideal, the perfect love, the ideal of consciousness, the ideal of kindness, the ideal of peace. Doesn't matter the tradition, even if you go to the church, you will have the ideals represented in the saints. If you go to shamanism, you will have the ideal represented in the spirit. The spirit of the lion is the ideal of power, courage. The spirit of water is the ideal of flexibility, forgiveness, emotions. Yeah, so it is there, these highest perfect qualities. But when we come back to the everyday life, we may find a very big contrast with what is happening in our daily life. Where are these ideals when we go to work, when we have our relationship problems, when we have our money problems? Sometimes we cannot find these ideals anywhere, and you may feel tempted to think they don't exist anymore. There is no hope. There are no highs. There were fantasies, just thoughts, imagination, like the dreams of a kid who wants to believe in something but doesn't want to see the truth. That the truth is everything is imperfect, difficult, ugly, pointless, without meaning. Like this, because of this contrast, we may lose the highest in our life, and the highest is God for us. Doesn't matter how you call it. Why this is happening? How can we do in our life not to lose hope? If you are there in this place, I want to talk to you, especially if you are in this place in which you lost hope because you couldn't find in the everyday life these ideals, this perfection. And maybe some people in this point, what they do is to escape into spiritual theory and spiritual imagination and spiritual fantasies. And they try to go as much as possible into this subtle world full of perfect forms and perfect emotions and perfect experiences. And they think that actually this is spirituality, and that the closer they are to this perfection, the closer they are to God. But then why we have this imperfect world? It is a mistake of God. Why we have problems? Why sometimes we have the same problem all the time? Why we have a body? Why we have an imperfect body? Why we have an imperfect relationship? An imperfect partner? If what we want to do is only to go to the highest. So truth is, and I'm going to share with you from my experience, is in the middle. What means in the middle? It means that in some level, both realities are true for us, the highest and the everyday imperfect world. The point is, they play different roles. They are with us to help us in different ways. The ideal, I'm going to call it the spirit, because this is in the shamanic tradition how we call it, the spirit. The highest spirit, the spirit of love, the spirit of creativity, of inspiration, consciousness, the spirit of truth. We connect with them in the ceremonies, in the meditations, in the rituals, and they help us to find answers, to find guidance. So yes, we close the door of our living, we prepare our altar, we prepare our amulet, we prepare our drum, we go with the intention to ask, we receive inspiration, energy, vision, understanding, clarity, we are ready. And then we go out and we open the door of our living, we switch on the light, we come back to the real world. And then is a different, we need a different energy. To enter in the ceremony and in the meditation, we need contemplation, open heart, trust, the energy of prayer, observation, presence. But when we come to the physical, this is for the highest. We need to be open. And our heart has to be open. To contemplate the highest, your heart has to be open. The kids are all the time in this state. But when we come back to the real world, or to the material world, let's say, because the other is real too, but to the material world, we need another kind of energy to act, to behave, to engage with this world. What this world needs, this world is dense, is heavy. It needs energy, it needs fire, it needs you to be resilient, to be able to hold intensity. This lower world is intense. We have conflicts, we have emotions, we have appetites in the body. We have 1,000 distractions around us, 1,000 intense calling around us. We have problems, we have heavy things around that we need to move, we need to make effort. And the experience is different, very different from this moment in which you are meditating, elevated. It's totally different. But and it's more intense, and it can be more uncomfortable. But I want to tell you that it is as necessary as the other. The experience of the everyday life imperfect world is helping us to realize where we are afraid, where our being is contracted, where our soul is contracted, which are the attachments that we still have inside, which are the fears, in which moment we are losing consciousness, in which moment we are choosing out of fear. This lower imperfect world is a master class for us to understand and to clean ourselves. The actual cleaning process, healing process, is happening in this, how to call it, relationship, intense relationship with this world. And then sometimes it's painful, it's unpleasant, it's uncomfortable. You have itchy, you have warm, you have hot, you have cold. And there we can face, confront the real limits and transcend them. The highest send us in a path in life, in a path in the material life, which will help us to confront our limits and to transcend them. And this game is like a dance, from the lower and the intense to the higher, to the pure, to the perfect. And then we come back again, and the lower, the intense, the everyday, the friction. And then we go to meditate and we visit the other world to get what? Inspiration, clarity, understanding, guidance. These two levels, the ideal and the imperfect world, they are both part of the path, and this is what I wanted to bring to this video. Some people say, no, there is no higher, there is just this. But then your heart dies in this moment. Some other people says, no, the lower is not spiritual. The spiritual is only the perfect world that I visualize in my mind when I go and I sing the mantras. And truth is, we need both. We need to embrace both. In both of them, we receive different aspects of the spiritual path that we need. So I want to know because we all have a tendency. Some of us, we prefer to go in the subtle and to relate only with the subtle. Some others, we prefer just to be in the practical and we don't remember the highs. How it is for you, your experience, you can share with me. I will read you in the comments. What is more difficult for you, to direct yourself to the highest or to confront the everyday imperfect world? Remember, you need both. When you integrate both, you will confront your limits, overcome them, and you will understand how beautiful is actually this world, even if it is not perfect. How beautiful is your partner, your lover, your family, people around you, even if they are not perfect. How beautiful you are, even if you are not perfect. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.